Shalom, giving all praise here. How about Shem Al Shai Shem Rakakodah Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, "What Will These False Prophets Say to Their Followers Concerning the Micro C-Hip?" So this is the video. And I went right to the part. This was put up by GMS. Vegas Sit Down 144K, title, "If You Still Can't See It, It's Because You Sold Out or You're Really Blinded." I'll go with the first part of this sentence. That's why I put down, "They sold out." And so we're going to see what they're going to do. These false prophets are going to do when it actually comes out, when it's mandatory. Their congregation, their followers, their blind followers will ask what shall they do? And they would have to say, this is the fulfillment of Revelation 13 to 16 and 17, or 13, 16 and 18. So don't take it. Or they may just say, "No, that's not it. Go ahead and take it." Now, if these people don't study it, they don't have any spiritual insight from the Heavenly Father and His beloved Son, they'll go ahead and take it because the people behind them are going to say, tell them to go ahead and take it. Tell them there's nothing wrong with it. So we then truly know that you definitely sold out. And we know you guys sold out. Most High is dismantling these camps. Seems like He's dismantling Sakari. Alizar was called out about some things that he did. And he kind of came back and came against guys that came against him. Talk about, well, look, I got news, I got information on you that you committed adultery. You were friends with a alphabet person, and he was talking about Ariala, formerly a Sakari Philly. And I found out that this guy was a part of this guy, the big heavyset brother, the Christian dude, Dr. Mason. I forget his first name. I think Mason. That when the Sakari was going back and forth with Dr. Mason, one of the guys that was under him is the brother known as Ariala. That brought up the allegations. So he was really originally a Christian. Well, he tells that story he's a Christian. Then when he saw the Israelites, in particular Sakari, he said, "I'm getting with now. They got the truth." And I believe now you can't find him. You can't find his videos. And I believe it's because Alizar had put that information that he committed adultery with a fellow brother in the school, and that he hangs out with alphabet people. Now, normally what would happen, the brother would respond back and say, "This is bullshit. Who's this sister? This, that, and the third." But he just disappeared. Even the Prince of Darkness, which is the Prince of the Power, he even asked that question. So people ask the question, where is he? Now, if it's true that he committed adultery, he hangs out with alphabet people, he's running away, but we're going to see. So I look at it like this: that is Most High dismantling Sakari. The King David said in Psalm 51:11, he said, "Take not away from thee thy Holy Spirit." That was a prayer which he did to Saul. Saul disobeyed, which is rebellion. He rebelled against the Heavenly Father. And Samuel the prophet told him that rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. what is the sin of being a witch? Being put to death. That's a sin unto death. So when you go back, what is it, 8 months ago, 7-8 months ago, brother Hassad, he got kicked out, and a couple days later, her car had left, and then some other brothers from different. There were some brothers from down with Sakari, Atlanta, and they left. They said, "Well, nothing bad to say. I'm just moving on." And then you got this whole scandal. So it looks like Sakari's being dismantled spiritually. They're like reservoir dogs. Now, if the men that in Sakari, because I believe that there's certain of the elect that's kind of scattered. That's just my personal belief. Sincere men that are scattered throughout the different camps. And it might boil down to maybe Sakari being a somewhat smaller camp, or just everybody going their separate ways. And I'm not just talking about Sakari. Sakari's in the news, that's why it's being brought up, but that's talking about any camp. Acts 5:38. We know that by heart. Judgment must begin at the house of Israel, right? If you ain't right, if the Most High ain't dealing with you, if this counsel be of men, it shall come to naught. But if it be of the Heavenly Father, the Most High, you cannot overturn it. Least haply you be found to fight against the Most High. So what if GMS are the true men of the Most High? Then you guys ain't. You guys are in big trouble, and vice versa. Matthew 24, Yahushua said there will be four. He said Christ, which means messiahs, which means chosen one, false chosen ones, and false prophets will deceive many. For if it was possible, they would deceive the very elect. I'm just giving you basic foundational scriptures. But I'm dealing with the MOTB, as you can see right here. And we here at Great Millstone, we've been putting up, we always put up anything that we find having to do with the MOTB. We gonna speak on it, baby. But rather that ye prophesy. So it says, no chips, no food, no mark, no life. Conspiracy fulfilled, no mark, no food. Revelation 13:16, the mark, the Greek word there is charagma. And I found out today, the water to the young elder out of the Mississippi, formerly Chicago, Kazakh. Yeah, Kazakh. He had did a video, and he went into Revelation 3 verse 10. And he looked up the word try. The scripture says temptation and try. And I believe he pulled out one word. Give me a second. I got to go to it again. And the testing is definitely the MOTB. It says because now I looked up temptation and I looked up try, and they both mean the same thing. they mean pierce. So I'm going to read it the way it's supposed to be read. Because thou hast kept the word or the logos of my patience. Let me open this up. Logos. Logos. I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. Now, when you look that word up, okay, it's the word there is G3986. Let me see if that's the same word. G3588. Okay, which is the same. They both go into, I'm sorry, 39, G39, 85, G39, 86. So it's from the same word. The root, when you go into the root, the etymology of the word, both of these words, it means to pierce. Like you get your ears pierced. So that's another clue right there. So let me read it. Let me read it like this. Give me a second. Because thou hast kept the logos of my patience. I'm going to look up the word patience. I also will keep thee from the hour of the piercing, which shall come upon the whole planet Earth, oikoumene, to pierce them that dwell upon the earth. Let me look up the word patience. Patience.
Strong's G 5281. Hupamane. Hupamane.
Hupamane. Hupamane. Hupamane. Steadfast, consistent, constancy, endurance. He that endureth to the end. And the NT, the characteristic of a man who is not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith and piety by even the greatest trials and sufferings. Patiently and steadfastly, a patient, steadfast, waiting for a patient, enduring sustenance, preservance, excuse me. So now let's come back over here. And this is it. It's in your face. No more excuses. Unless you sold out. Made a deal with the devil. Now it's time to pay up. Devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. So I'm let you hear it. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Longer conspiracy theory, it is already happening. I mean, the time is now. So this lady walked into the store and to get food, of course, and she was so shocked at what she saw. This is what she saw. Watch the video.
Now there was another video, the same setup. The glass that can't be opened, you had to put your hand up. But it would appear to be an Edomite male that did it. So here, this one right here is experiencing the same thing. And I believe this is at a Walgreens.
Can somebody enlighten me on what's going on here? In Walgreens, there are these coolers, and this is where our drinks used to, you know, we could just open it up and grab. Now it's kind of like all cartooned all the way down. So if you look here, then I'm looking here, and there's a sensor there and a sensor there. It says, wave your hand. Voice assistant coming soon. Okay? Pretty soon these doors aren't going to be opening. Really thick, actually. But this is where the food is. So what do you think this means for us as people of the United States of America? What does it mean?
And the way this is going to work, they'll be able to do away with cashing out. You just because it comes off of your chip, so you can just walk right out the store. If you took 2 items, it'll deduct from your account 2 items. If you decide to put the item back, it would take it off of give you the money back. So that's what the fulfillment of Revelation 13 and 16 is. And like I said, these guys are teaching, other Israelite groups are teaching contrary. They sold out. That's why I said they sold out. So we're gonna see what they did, because they can't say I'm long. It's the mark of the beast, because the elite invested money in them. They said you fucking up our money. So you got to take it all the way home. You got to take it all the way home. Comfy took it all the way home, and everybody knew he sold out. That's what you get for not having patience, nigga.
Wave your hand. Look at that.
Mind you, there's no chip in her. She didn't say there was a chip, but they're getting used to it's just wave your hand and it'll open, right? There'll become a time when you need a chip and you just can't wave your hand. You got to have a chip in your hand. And you notice she waved her right hand.
Why would that be on a door just to get drinks?
Because it's one step closer to the MOTB system, the B system.
Now, those of you that are subscribed, that's been watching, you brothers and you sisters out there, go back and watch the lesson that I put up. I want to say it was this past weekend, where you had a so-called black woman, and she was Christian, but you know, it was a testimony of an experience that she had because she had a near-death experience. All right, and she claimed that she went to the spiritual realm and, you know, saw all these different images, and, you know, she was like she was having a vision. All right, and within that video, she claimed that she saw a lot of people that were pretty much in a humanoid state. You know, people were just walking around, you know, people eating, and they had this weird glare in their eye. And she even said that she saw people with glowing implants under their skin. And they were, you know, when they would buy.
Yeah, I saw that same video that the elder put up. It didn't say that was glowing under her hand. It said under her skin, and I'm assuming that it was she saw in the right hand or even the left hand something glowing under their skin.
Things they would, you know, she would see them wave their hand to make purchases. Yeah, I can go back and try to see that video. All right, but I'm pretty sure this technology was present. All right, this is what it probably looked like. You know, when you're trying to go and buy something.
She saw what John on Alabama saw. He saw people walking around, and he saw people, doctors, and maybe tattoo artists that are certified to do it, give people sitting down, putting their hand out, and getting the chip put in them. Then he probably saw an operation room where they put the chip in the brain. GMS was always right. You guys that's teaching contrary to what we're teaching, you got a lot of explaining to do. But you just hope that your followers are nothing but dummies, low IQ people. Then you can get over on them.
Right now, she was able to wave her hand because, and without it, because this is all part of the conditioning. Just imagine when you're going to need that particular device implanted into you in order to open up that door to grab you, whatever it is you're trying to grab. So it's all being set up right in our face. And you still got dudes who still acting like they, yo, you couldn't make it up, man. And the Most High is going to corner a lot of you,
Yeah, well, they sold out. They're sellouts. They sold out. They sold out. They sold out. Some of them camps just don't know. They're just winging it. But I'm talking about the major camps. You know what I'm talking about. The leaders of them major camps sold the hell on out. So we're gonna see what they're gonna say when it actually is fulfilled.
Fake Israelites out there, man. You so-called self-proclaimed prophets, so-called watchmen for Israel, and whatever you call yourself. You still can't believe it. Y'all gonna get cornered. Okay? Then, you're gonna be questioning your own faith.
No, because they're sellouts. They're fucking sellouts. They can't get that money back. Illuminati kill them. They kill them.
A lot of people that follow you, they're going to be questioning their faith because they realize that you didn't prepare them. This is what the scriptures talk about in Ezekiel, the 13th chapter. It says that the prophets are like foxes in a desert, man. Let me see if I can grab that.
Yeah, Ezekiel 3, it says warn them. You got to warn them and tell them everything that's in the scriptures. If you hold back anything and they go ahead and take it, they're going to be destroyed, but you're going to be destroyed too for telling them to take it. Not telling them the right thing to do. Watch what Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai going to do to you Negroes and you false prophets out there.
It is Ezekiel 13. And one, it says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, hear ye the word of the Lord, thus saith the Lord God, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. Some of them trying to declare a nationwide fast for a wicked Negro, or a wicked dude who just got exposed for his inordinate affection. When to give this dude all kind of grace and mercy when he actually scoffs the ministry of grace.
They're going to have a fast. They're going to have a fast. Yeah. Hey, well, look. We know that there's the only elect is going to make it. The rest of them that are caught up in this, what does it say in Matt? Going back to Matthew 24, I'm not going to go to it, I'm going to quote it. It says, for if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. But the elect will not be deceived. Let me go to that and read that in the NLT. Let me see what it says in the NLT. I don't know why I did KJV. Let me see. (22nd verse and 24th verse). NLT. In fact, unless that time of calamity is shortened, time of Jacob's trouble, not a single person will survive, but it will be shortened for the sake of the Most High's chosen ones. Then if anyone tells you, look, here is the Messiah, or there he is, don't believe it. So, hey, don't be, well, you'll see certain guys are acting as messiahs. It says, for false messiahs or leaders and false prophets will rise up and perform they're going to do great things and wonders so as to deceive, if possible, even the Most High's chosen ones, which are the elect. Let's look at that in the BBE, the Bible in Basic English. 22nd verse, and then the verse. And in those days, this is BBE, had not been made short, there would have been no salvation for any. But because of the saints, the chosen, those days will be made short. 24th verse. For there will come up false messiahs, or Christ meaning Messiah, anointed ones, and false prophets, who will do great signs and wonders, so that if possible, even the saints might be tricked. How is this man going to give you the chip? He's going to deceive you in taking the chip. It's not going to be like a forced thing where they're going to put a gun to your head. You got to willfully do it. They can't hold you, 5 guys hold you down, and then they put it in you. No, you have to do it. Now, they can threaten you with death. We'll kill you unless you do it. And that's the only thing they can do. So some of us will be put to death. That's pursuant to, matter of fact, I'm going to go to that. Let me go back to the NLT. Revelation 20. And 4. A lot of you people, men and women that join these different camps, you don't check. Hey, what does 1 John 4 say? And 1. It said, try the spirit. You guys don't try. Oh, I like the guy's garment. The Lord is dealing with this guy. That's why you guys are going to the ones of you that are not elect, you're going to get caught up in this. And you're going to die right here in America. This is an NLT. Then I saw thrones, and people sitting on them had been given the authority to judge. And that's in the kingdom. And I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded for their testimony about Yahushua and for proclaiming the word of the Most High. That's talking about us. They had not worshipped the beast or his statue, nor accepted his mark on their forehead or their hands. Now it says hands, right? So the ones that didn't accept it, some of us will be put to death. So you got to be ready for death. Strive to the truth until death. They all came to life again, and they reigned with the Messiah for 1,000 years. Let's listen to a little bit more.
But you got a lot of foolish prophets out there trying to basically move in their own accord. They're following their own spirit. It says, O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the desert. You have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. We're supposed to try to pull Jake out of the fire. We're supposed to, warn them, give warning to them. Okay? But these dudes, they're not preparing them because they're blinded, or because they're hirelings. They don't care for the sheep. They just worrying about the money that they're generating. So if you sold out,
As John said, John Todd said they took the money and rejected the Lord.
you're gonna pretend like you don't see what's happening. But let me finish this video out.
Just saying. And it's all the way down. Watch your money. Watch your hand. Because pretty soon they're going to make us chip it. That's all.
Now, you guys know the Bible says.
So she even understands this. And this might be an old video. He probably just getting to it now. This is probably an old video. But it's just interesting. All right, if this is where we're at, how much more in the near future? Pretty soon it's going to be all your stores, anywhere where you can do transactions, anywhere where you can, make purchases, anywhere where you can go and shop. This is how it's going to be set up. All right, and he knows that this is clearly biblical. All right, everybody, a lot of Christians are starting to come around on this, and they're starting to see it too. But you got dumb dogs in Israel that's still acting like they don't see anything. All right, when the Lord said, if a prophet, let me see if I can find it, because the Lord said the deceivers are His. I believe it's the next chapter over, actually. Ezekiel 14. Let me read it in the NLT. Ezekiel 14 and 9, and it says, And if a prophet is deceived into giving a message, it is because I, the Lord, have deceived that prophet. I will lift my fist against such prophets and cut them off from the community of Israel. False prophets and those who seek their guidance will all be punished for their sins. In this way, the people of Israel will learn not to stray from me, polluting themselves with sin. They will be my people, and I will be their God. I, the sovereign Lord, have spoken. So if whatever group that you in, it's on you to discern if that prophet is a true prophet or not. Because like John said, you got to try the Spirit by the Spirit, whether it be of the Most High, because many false prophets are going out into the world. And if they're not telling you what that mark is, and if they're not correctly telling you what it actually is, then they're a false prophet. Simple and plain. They're just not true prophets of the Lord. Okay? So even they can see it. People having visions about it. But these dudes want to still tell you, no, don't believe it. That's a conspiracy theory. You got that dude Baloo come out of nowhere, still playing stupid. After doing all that scoffing, he gonna end up getting it.
Oh, most definitely. Oh, he's gonna get it. He's going to get it.
The dude from the 14th Street Israelites. I ain't seen that dude in a while, but all of a sudden he pops up. He gonna end up taking it.
For sure.
All right, and Nate, he's gonna try to, be slick and slimy and when it finally gets implemented and there's no way around it, he gonna act like he was with it this whole time. Watch how he gonna spin it when it finally comes.
Well, we don't know what he gonna do. The Most High might take him out before that. But if he's one of the elect, he's gonna say, "Look, I was wrong, and GMS was right, baby." Like they always right.
And you're gonna have some people that's gonna be like, "Oh, you full of shit. You was lying the whole time. and had us thinking that those dudes was lying, that they was off.
Yeah, them guys are not smart enough to figure shit out.
And then you're gonna have the zombies that's gonna be like, you know, they're gonna act like nothing happened. Like the guy wasn't in denial for over a decade. You ain't fooling nobody, man. I'm talking about Bishop Nathaniel. So anyway, I'm gonna go to another video. All right, now peep this. This is from the other day.
Today, Taiwan Semiconductor is announcing that they will be investing at least $100 billion in new capital in the United States over the next short period of time to build state-of-the-art semiconductor manufacturing facilities. I think mostly it's going to be in Arizona, which is what I understand, which is a great state. I like it because I won it, but I won most of them, actually. But we won it, and we won it big. The most powerful AI chips in the world will be made right here in America.
So you can understand, if you got a laptop, a tablet, a smartphone, there's chips in it. You got a newer car, they got chips in it. I remember when cars didn't have computers. Now they have computers. Like when this thing, the C Ragamuffin, they couldn't build any new cars because of the chip. They had a problem with shortage of chips. So this is not the same chip they're going to put in your hand. It's a different chip. It's a chip designed for the human body. The chips that he's talking about are the chips for cars and smartphones and tablets and laptops and stuff, things of that nature. And TV, you got your smart TVs have chips in it.
And it'll be a big percentage of the chips.
Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Made by his company, but as you know, they're based mostly in Taiwan. And
Taiwan are the number one builders of these chips. The Chinese can build chips, but they can't build it like Taiwan. They've been doing it for years. They're masters at building these chips because they've been doing it for so long. That's why China wanted to annex Taiwan, so they can say, okay, now Taiwan is part of China, which I believe used to be a part of China, just like the Ukraine. Russia going to get the Ukraine. So all these prophecies we living. Anybody tell you we can be here for the next 1,000 years? Don't listen to that person. We can't, this is counting down to months, if you know what I mean.
Far and away the biggest. There's nobody even close. This $100 billion in new investment.
And this got to be the guy that's going to usher in the MOTB and the ICBM.
Will go into building 5 cutting-edge.
So keep doing what you're doing, Trump. Thank the Most High for a man like Trump.
Fabrication facilities in the great state that we just discussed, Arizona, and will create thousands of jobs, many thousands of jobs, and high-paying jobs. In total, today's announcement brings Taiwan Semiconductor investments to about $165 billion they've started already.
So this is a major announcement, all right, into that industry. $100 billion for AI chip manufacturing, okay, coming from Taiwan. So what do you like? What do you have to say to that? That's a lot of money that they're putting into this. So you seeing the direction we're heading in, and you still going to be in denial. Well, we're going to see, man. All right? It's only for so long will you be in denial. But like I said, it's because you either sold out or the Lord really, really blinded the shit out of you. All right? Now, let me get this in Exodus, because if you did sell out, then it makes a lot of sense why.
Wish they did. Lest they show otherwise. They sold out. It's just as simple as that. They sold out. They sold their soul. They made a deal for a Happy Meal.
You know, you would ignore what you're seeing. Exodus 23 and verse 8. And it says, take no bribes, for a bribe makes you ignore something that you clearly see. A bribe makes even a righteous person twist the truth. KJV, it says, and thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise and perverteth the words of the righteous. You know, so this is one of the ways you're gonna be blinded, is because you know you can't say nothing about it. You know, you start teaching it, they probably gonna audit your ass, and you're gonna get you're probably gonna find yourself getting rated like a comfy school. Lose everything that you got. Okay? So you're gonna still try to, you know, beat around the bush, you know, tap dance around the situation. But there's not gonna be no excuse. None. Because it's actually here, man. The vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So, like I said, you would have to have sold out if you can't see it at this point. All right, let me get Isaiah 56, starting at the 10th verse, and I'm going to go to the NLT as well. Isaiah 56 and 10. It says, for the leaders of my people, the Lord's watchmen, his shepherds, are blind and ignorant. They're blind and ignorant. They're like silent watchdogs. They still breaking down the MOTB, you know, like how are we still going into Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter, when it describes the phylacteries, you know, with it being, you know, around your hand, and, you know, it shall be as frontlets between the eyes. That's clearly talking about phylacteries. What the hell does that have to do with the mark that the beast is going to give you? A actual physical mark that you're going to have in order for you to exist here. What the hell does that have? You still got certain Israelite groups that are blind and ignorant that they're still teaching it that way. That'll be a precept. You know? And then with Nate and them, they still constantly switching it up. It's an embargo, then it's sin, then it's Christianity, then it's sin again, then it's an embargo again. It's just never consistent. We've always said what it was, and we've never changed it. All right? It says they are like silent watchdogs that give no warning when danger comes. They love to lie around, sleeping and dreaming. Like greedy dogs, they are never satisfied. They are ignorant shepherds, all following their own path. And that's a lot of these dudes. They all following their own spirit. They got their own agendas. A lot of them out there, they make it a name for themselves. You know, going from this platform to that platform. And it's not to glorify Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, when they get on these platforms, they're not saying the names of the Father and the Son. All right? They're not really giving the warning.
This is the shame of the false prophets. Anybody that's teaching that MOTB is something other than what we here at GMS says it is, you're a false prophet. False prophets are shamed. In that day, there shall be a fountain open to the house of David. And the house of David means the kingdom. The number one king, physical king, is going to be King David. Above him is going to be Yahushai. And to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, or the armies, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of the land. It's meaning false prophets. But there will, in the kingdom, there won't be any need of prophets anyway. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begat him shall say unto him, Thou shalt not live, for thou speakest lies in the name of Yahweh. And his father and his mother that begat him shall thrust him through when he prophesies. So that's not going. The Israelites are not going to do that. There's not going to be any need for prophets. And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophets shall be ashamed, every one of his vision, when he hath prophesied. You're going to be ashamed of the fact that you said the MOTB is an embargo, sleeping with white women. It's sin in all of its forms. Neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive, because the prophets wore rough garments. But he shall say, I am no prophet. I am an husbandman, a farmer, for man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. And I don't got to read. You can read the rest. Let me look up the word rough. Garment is something that you put on. Let's look up the word rough. I believe it's hairy garment. Yep, hair. Yep. The word is Shayar, which is seer. There's a mountain region where Edomites dwelt, was called Seir, which means hairy. Now remember, John the Baptist, he wore a hairy garment of camel's hair. I'm going to look that up. John the Baptist wasn't no spiffy dresser. He had long hair, whether it was curled, rolled up. He was a Nazarene. He had a long beard, and a ridiculously long beard. Inside joke. This is getting ridiculous. So let's look that up. Let's go to let me see. Camel. Here. I don't know why it don't come up. Let me try it this way. I might have to put in camel. Singular. Camels. Nope, let me put in camel. Let me put in camel here. And try it this way. I know it's in Matthew chapter 3, if I'm not mistaken. In Matthew chapter 3, Mark chapter 1, John clothes were woven from coarse camel hair. That's in the NLT. And he wore a leather belt or girdle around his waist. For food, he ate locusts and wild honey. So let me take this to the King James and pull out a word. Camel's hair. Camel's hair.
Strong's G 2574. Kamilos. Kamilos.
And the word is gamal for camel.
They just telling you, hey, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're Israelites. We're supposed to be keeping the commandments. You know, they'll mention the JC word because that's, you know, that's what Jake know, but they don't try to teach him what his true name is or the father. They're not telling you, hey, World War III is right on at the doorstep. Do not take the chip when it comes because it's found in Revelation 13. So they you know they're complacent, you know, and that's why the Lord's gonna, you know, eventually deal with them. He says he's gonna search Jerusalem with candles and everybody that's settled on their lease. And that's what it sounds like in this chapter, dealing with these watchmen. If you love to you know, lie around sleeping and dreaming, that means that you really kicking back with your feet up. You're not really on your watch like that. You're not paying attention. One thing about a guard dog or you know, somebody that's on a watch, you know, they stay up and you know, they're not just you know, crouched down. They're not in a compromising position, you know. They're steady on their watch. They're looking around. They're focused. They're attentive. They're looking all around for, you know, for any danger, and they also, you know.
His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark. And the bark is to tell you the truth, give you the right bark. Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Yeah, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain, from his quarter. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves. That's lees. When you look up the word lees, settle on the lees, it's talking about the sediment under sediment at the bottom of the wine, and that's the thing that gets you nice, if you know what I mean. And we will fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant. So I don't got to explain that to y'all. Let me see if I can find it this way. Okay, I should find it pretty quick. Ezekiel 34, verse 3. Let me see what the first verse says. Prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. In other words, the false shepherds. So the man prophesy against the shepherds of Israel, prophesy, and say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh the Most High unto the shepherds, Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flock? What do you feed them with? With knowledge and understanding, pursuant to Jeremiah 3, I believe that's 3 verse 15. Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with the wool. You dress nice. Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock. That's all I wanted. But you can read the rest of this. Read the rest of this. When I was young, working first couple of jobs, you would get your refund check, and we would all go down to Delancey in the city and buy clothes, hats, clothes, shoes. That's where we used to get them Playboys and them AJs. That goes way past here. Y'all don't know what an AJ is. Y'all don't know what Playboys are. Y'all don't know. Y'all are youngins.
Paying attention to the flock that they're overseeing. A lot of these dudes they're busy partying, marrying, traveling. It says they are ignorant shepherds, all following their own path and intent on personal gain. Come, they say, let's get some wine and have a party. That's what that dude Alizar was doing a lot. He was doing a lot of this. Now you understand, why he was in that spirit. That dude got that ancient, Greco-Roman spirit on him. But it's supposed to be this chief priest. Revelry. Prophesying by strip clubs. Then next thing you know, you in the club. Gotta have a bunch of women around. It says, let's all get drunk. Then tomorrow we will do it again and have an even bigger party. That's why it says the house of...
I didn't even know he was here, and I went to it not knowing that he was here but he was reading it in the NLT. It sounded different.
Was that Ecclesiastes 7? Yeah, Ecclesiastes 7 and verse let me go to the Amplified, see what it say. Ecclesiastes 7 and 2, it says, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that day of death is the end of every man, and the living will take it to heart and solemnly ponder its meaning. Sorrow is better than laughter, for when a face is sad, deep in thought, the heart may be happy because it is growing in wisdom.
Yeah, that's what a Stoic does. And really, you should all be Stoics. You enjoy yourself in the kingdom.
Yeah, when you increase in knowledge, you increase in sorrow, right? It says the heart of the wise learns what it is in the house of mourning, but the house of fools is senseless in the house of pleasure. Always partying. Okay. And the Lord even said, concerning prophets that prophesy of strong drink, right? And those who basically seek after that type of thing, because Jake want to hear smooth things. that are, like it says in Isaiah 30, prophesy to us lies. We don't want to hear the truth. Prophesying to us smooth things, deceits. So the Lord, He'll send you that kind of prophet if that's what you into, that's what you want to hear. That's what that's the spirit that's on you. You don't want to hear about the truth of the impending judgments.
Well, you're not going to hear about the truth if you're not the elect. The truth is only for the elect of Israel. Anyway, you can watch the rest of this. I'm going to say shalom on to the next shalom.